2022 was a season that was dominated by Red Bull and Max Verstappen, with the back-to-back world champion winning a record-breaking 15 out of 22 races. They got the brand new regulations spot on, and they built a car which was formidable, and they walked away with both the drivers and constructors championships without breaking a sweat. Many of us fans predicted that in 2023 both Ferrari and Mercedes would take steps forward and put up more of a fight with Red Bull and Verstappen. However, that has been far from the case, and while Mercedes and Ferrari have made little to no progress, Red Bull has gotten even quicker. We have heard from drivers like George Russell how he believes that Red Bull can win every race this season, which has never been done in the sport's history, so it will be near impossible, but anything can happen in Formula 1. In today's video, we're going to talk about the possibility of Red Bull winning every single race with the pace of the RB19. Could tension between Perez and Verstappen stop this, and will Ferrari, Mercedes, or even Aston Martin be able to develop so they have a quick enough car to win a race? Let's get right into it. To start off with, we are going to talk about the possibility of Red Bull winning every single race this season. In the first two rounds of the season, Red Bull took both of the pole positions, and in the race they took home a 1-2 in both races, with Verstappen winning in Bahrain and Perez winning in Saudi Arabia. The car looks rapid in every single part of the racetrack that we have seen, and both of the drivers look like they are at the peak of their powers. A lot of the fans, but also the drivers, they believe that the championship is already over due to the lack of competition to the Red Bull car. To win every single race of a season, a team needs to be very lucky through the huge 23 races that we will have this season. Even when we saw years like 2004 where the Ferrari dominated and the 2020 where Mercedes dominated, many people say those were the two fastest cars in the history of the sport, and they were unable to win every single race in the season. We already saw that at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix that the Red Bull had an issue with it in qualifying, which meant that Max Verstappen could not set a time in Q2 and started the grid in P15. Now, by lap 25, as Fernando Alonso predicted, he would be in P2, only behind his teammate by 5 seconds after a safety car helped the world champion gain many positions. Verstappen showed last year that he is able to do a recovery driver and climb through the field to get a win, as we saw in both Belgium and Hungary. In 2022, there was a close arrival to Red Bull and Ferrari for the first half of the season, and Mercedes in the second half of the season. But so far this year, there is no clear second best car, and there is a huge gap from Red Bull to the next quickest car. Yes, the season has only just started, but the gap is massive, and it will take a massive step for a team to even challenge the Red Bull. Furthermore, when Verstappen was unable to take pole in Saudi, Perez was there to back him up, giving him the best chance to win the race. If Red Bull aspires and aims to win every single race this season, it will have to make sure that its reliability is the best it can possibly be. But we saw in Saudi Arabia that Verstappen had issues with the gearbox and with the car in general, so this will be a reason why Red Bull doesn't win every single race. It is certain that Red Bull will be looking to win both championships before trying to win every single race, but it for sure will be something they would love to do. We are only very early on in the season, but it will be something that will be historic. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that Red Bull has built a car that is good enough to win every single race this season? Or will another team grab a victory before the season closes? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Now, we're going to talk about how the potential drama between Perez and Verstappen could cost Red Bull breaking this historic record. We all know about the drama that happened in Brazil last year and how Verstappen didn't let Perez pass and really put a dent in such a good relationship that we have seen in their time as teammates. But this season, it looks like Perez has come back better and wants to prove to the team that he is a top driver and will be able to challenge Verstappen. We saw some signs of this anger from Perez over the team radio when talking about what pace he should go in the race, as Verstappen was charging down to try and take the win. Perez was almost confused as to why he was told to go slower than Max, and you can kind of understand how he will be frustrated, and it kind of seemed like it raised suspicions for Perez. He knows that he's not the #1 driver in the team, and they will always prioritise Max. But Perez has his own aspirations to win a championship, and races of course. Max seemed very disappointed with him taking home a P2 from starting in P15 on the grid, which of course is very impressive, but he wants to win this championship with ease. Now, this is all pure speculation, of course, but he may feel like he should have been given the position over Perez due to him being the #1 driver. We all saw the pictures of Verstappen not looking happy after Perez celebrating with the team, and this could be a reflection on how Max felt after the race. If Red Bull does want to win every single race this season, they will have to make sure that the relationship between Checo and Max is the best. They will not want another Baku 2018 situation where both drivers crash out of the race, hurting the team massively. Perez and Verstappen have to race hard, but fair on the track, or Red Bull may have to take it into their own hands to just let Max pass if it comes to that situation. It is for sure something to look out for in the coming races to see how Perez reacts to potentially fighting Max for a win. Guess we'll have to find out. On to our final topic, and that is, of course, will other teams be able to get close to the RB19 in terms of pace over one lap or a whole race distance? It's really hard to say who the second quickest team really are. You could argue between Aston Martin and Ferrari and Mercedes could be in that fight very soon. It is fair to say we didn't expect Aston Martin to be this quick, and their goal coming into this season was probably not to win races, but they could easily be. In 2022, they were able to develop the car over the year, becoming quicker and quicker. And if they're able to do that this year, it's more than possible for this to happen. But when you look at Ferrari and Mercedes, they look like to have made no progress from 2022, and they will be hungry to put things right. Mercedes look to have decided to change their car, and this could look like a second version of the RB19. But Toto has come out and said he doesn't care as long as it is quick. Ferrari has come out and accepted they may have got it wrong this season, and they look to make changes. These two teams will more than likely be able to get closer to Red Bull as the season continues. But due to how Red Bull is pretty much a second a lap quicker than the next fastest team, it will be hard to bridge that gap. But as we all know, anything can happen in Formula 1, and the stars could align and another team could snatch a win if the Red Bull has reliability issues or make the wrong strategy call and turn it into Ferrari from last year. You never know. We'll have to wait and see how the other teams respond. Will another team beat Red Bull this year? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure that you like the video and subscribe to watch more videos just like this one.